Just in a little bit of time, the Cavs will be taking on the Boston Celtics in the first game of the series between the two teams. The playoffs are back here in Cleveland. Chris Fedor, Chris Haynes, Joe Vardon with you to preview this one and get you all set for playoff action here on cleveland.com. And Joe, the last time LeBron-James was in the postseason, he was losing to the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Finals. He's back here in Cleveland, and the Cavs back in the playoffs for the first time since 2010. What do you expect from LeBron today?
Well, LeBron's really focused, almost to the point of being wound. And so it'll be interesting to see what we get from him today. He felt this way before the opener, the season opener way back in October, and that didn't go so well. I think this is a different beginning for him, and I think he's going to try to take it upon himself to set the tone early.
Chris, this team got together, big expectations, obviously. They make the trade in the offseason for Kevin Love. It's been well documented. He's never been in the postseason. Kyrie Irving never been in the postseason. Inexperience is something that's going to hang over this team throughout the playoff run. What do you expect from Kevin today in his first postseason game?
You just never know with the guy. You just never know. And if Kevin thought the heat was on him all season long for his lack of productivity, especially what you think is going to happen in the playoffs, in the postseason, where everybody, you got the whole world watching these games. These games are set so everybody can see them at one point. And so Kevin Love has to respond. He has to be able to go out there and show that he can play at a high level. But he hasn't shown that this year under pressurized situations, consistently that is. But it's going to be very interesting, and I'll be looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the table on a grand scale when you look at what LeBron and Kyrie, because we know what they can do. Kevin, I'm not sure.
See, do we know what Kyrie can do? I get the sense that so many people have that feeling about, well, we know what Kyrie's going to give. And I understand he was terrific this season. It was a breakout season for him. Played for Team USA, helped him win a gold medal at the FIBA World Championships. But this, too, is his first playoff game.
And that's fine and dandy. And that's fine. You have a right to doubt what he can do in the postseason. But there's two games that come to mind. The game against the Portland Trail Blazers. Then that game against San Antonio Spurs. Against the San Antonio Spurs. 55? 57?
57.
57 points? This dude is ready. Come on now. It's one thing you put up 57 against the Philadelphia 76ers, Orlando Magic. The San Antonio Spurs, you think this dude is not, you think the Boston Celtics, you think Isaiah Thomas and Marcus Smart is going to be able to stop that? Please. He's going to be all right. Kevin Love is the one I'm concerned about.
So when you talk about this game, Joe, it's the first game against the Celtics. They played 4 times in the regular season. Not much that you can really take out of those regular season games because of scenarios, because of situations. What kind of challenge, if any, does Boston present to the Cavs?
So they've got a good bench. Isaiah Thomas is a candidate for Sixth Man of the Year, and as we know, even since the trades, the Cavs bench has been somewhat of a question mark. So I think that's the one area. The second area is, and we've talked a little bit about this before, is that they're so young, and almost none of them have been in this stage before, that they won't know when to quit. That the Cavaliers will get a big lead, they will feel like they have put Boston away, and the Celtics will come right back. So the Cavs have to be ready to withstand charge after charge, even late, even when this game should be over.
How about the challenge with Boston? Is there one? Do you see this game being a tightly contested game? Do you see this as a game where the Cavs are just going to get their feet wet and then prepare for the next one?
Possibly. Like I said, I predicted the Cavs will get the sweep.
Okay.
But I think, just like Joe alluded to, I think the fact that, the Boston Celtics, they're a young team. They play hard. They're going to play hard from start to finish. Now, they may get behind 15, 17 points, but they may dwindle that lead down, cut it to about 5 or 6 to make the game interesting. I think the Cavs struggle, and their challenge is going to be playing with consistency at a high level from start to finish, because they have to. That's only going to prepare them for, because I think Chicago is coming up in that next round. So you got to make sure you step on these guys' head. Don't let up. And put your feet down and don't let go. And my problem talking about letting go, I'm having a problem letting go of this barbecue smell going on around here. I'm definitely going to get me some nice barbecue. And this is a nice atmosphere. This is playoff atmosphere basketball right here. And I'm excited just for that barbecue standpoint.
Guys, it's been a long, long time. It's been since 2010 since the Cavs have been in the postseason. Game 1 against the Boston Celtics in round 1 is getting closer and closer and closer. So when we talk about big picture really quick, Joe, for this Cavs team, we've talked about this series itself. You think it's going to be a quick series. Chris thinks it's going to be a quick series. Do the Cavs have concerns moving forward in the playoffs? And what's the thing that could prevent this team from winning a championship?
Well, I think it is just letting the moment get too big for themselves. They've had some problems with that earlier in the year. The season opener, Christmas Day, 2 examples that come to mind. If they let some of the outside pressures overtake what's going on inside that locker room, this team is good enough. It should be galvanized, and I hope this first-round series, the experience that they gain from it, will further harden them and prepare them for what's to come. And that's really the only thing I think standing in the way.
Chris, before this one tips off between the Cavs and the Celtics, give me the matchup that you're most looking forward to watching, the one that you think is going to be pivotal in this series.
Well, that's difficult. Let me stick to my guy, Kevin Love.
Okay.
Let me stick with him. He has to outperform Brandon Bass every single game, and not just outperform. He has to outdo him, outscore him, out-defend him. Whatever needs to be outed in that game, Kevin Love has to do it. I want to see him put his stamp on this series.
Playoffs are back in Cleveland. All in is the playoff slogan, and tip-off is getting closer and closer. For Joe Vardon and Chris Haynes, I'm Chris Fedor. Enjoy Game 1. We'll talk to you following the game.